All right. Welcome back to Table 1. 2024 NCTTA Table Tennis Championships. Live from the University of Wisconsin, Eau Claire. I'm Matt Hetherington with Justin D'Antonio. Here for the women's team final between Texas Wesleyan and UCLA. Players on the court warming up now are Deng and Angie Tan. This final's being played over both tables. It's a 5-match format with 4 singles players playing against each other. In the event of a 2-all draw after the first 4 matches, it's decided by a doubles. I can tell you one team that won't want to go down to the doubles, that is UCLA, with last night's newly crowned doubles champions, Lynn and Deng on court now. The new women's doubles champions yesterday evening.
We had a very similar but sort of reversed situation on the men's, or rather the Coed Teams final right before this, with Indiana really trying to push it to doubles.
Yeah.
Versus Texas Wesleyan, since they last night were, Indiana, I mean, were the men's doubles champions. But they weren't able to get it there. With a tough fight at 4th singles, Gal Algetti not able to eke it out against Mr. McDonald, who he played against in the men's doubles final last night.
All right, Angie Tan starting off with the serve on the near side in the navy blue for UCLA. Deng on the far side is a short pips backhand player, but it's more of a spinny short pips. It's a little bit more disruptive, so kind of slows the ball down more.
Unexpected error there. Couldn't tell if it was an edge ball.
Angie Tan's got some pretty powerful shots off the backhand. Probably stronger on the backhand, at least looping, than she is on the forehand. Deng switching the placement with the short pips. You can see in that replay the ball kind of has a fairly flat trajectory, almost dips down. It can be pretty tough to play against. Deng's playing the ball deeper on the table. You can't really counter hit. It's pretty hard to block as well, because it doesn't really have topspin on it. It's kind of more of a dead ball, but has a little bit of downwards force on it. So anytime you're in a rally against the short pips, you have to keep playing with topspin. Can be pretty challenging.
But it can also be an advantage for players who regularly compete against pips. Opportunities to exploit that lesser ability to generate spin off of the pip side.
Angie has a good style matchup with it on the backhand side, because she can spin through the first ball and then rip the next one if it comes back slow. But oh, she looks like she's indicating that that touched the back edge. I'm not sure. Deng not disputing it, so. NCTTA Table Tennis Championships this year, supported by the United States Coast Guard. Visit Eau Claire, Yola and Pong Space. And of course run by the governing body for college table tennis here in the US, NCTTA. Definitely one of my favorite events of the year.
Gian Deng, a senior sports communications major. Played many years here at NCTTA. Potentially more years to come, because I believe one of her years of eligibility was given back after an incomplete season due to COVID.
Well, I know when I talked to Lynn, her teammate, yesterday, she had indicated that it would be their last season, or at least her last season playing. So I think when they graduate, they'll be not returning to college life, which
understandable.
Yeah.
I know these
Yeah.
players work very hard here, and they're probably ready to get on with their lives. We will miss them.
they can be like Bruno Ventura and come back and coach the team.
Absolutely. And I will say, it is nice, at least for some of the Coed team and the men's team, the men's doubles and the men's singles players, to have Bruno here in a coaching role, because they may be more comfortable speaking in Spanish to him, since it's their native language. Or first language, I should say.
Big backhand from Angie Tan. Pretty tight first game here, 9 points each. Both players on the next table are literally using their coaching time at ends to watch and see how this game ends. Pretty important match here for both teams.
Texas Wesleyan has opted to stack their lineup to make the likelihood of wins at other places stronger for their more powerful players, maybe due to expecting a loss versus some specific matchup where one player stylistically does not handle an opponent well on the Texas Wesleyan or on the UCLA team. And so ratings-wise, at the second single spot, it is a large deficit, with Joanna Sung expected to win the match very easily.
I think the last time Wesleyan had a really, really strong and rounded women's team was the last time it was here. I think they had, at that time, Jennifer Wu, Wang Chen, both US Olympians, and then
Adina Herachich, maybe?
yeah, Herachich, and then there was also one more player. I'm probably not going to remember the name of. But they had a pretty well-rounded 4-player lineup. And Texas Wesleyan have historically had really strong women's players, but I feel they've kind of struggled in recent years to have a really strong full lineup. But fortunately for them, Jachi and Jen Deng are really strong at doubles, so they have kind of a similar situation here as Indiana do, like you said, with the Coed, where the Algeris are the two strong players and they've filled the team roster, and they try and win their 2 singles and then go through to the doubles.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, this match is really the most important match, I would say.
I'm not sure about Texas Wesleyan's 4th singles chances about Gian Ying against Gian Ying. Are you familiar with those 2 players?
I don't know Stepanovich. Ying, I saw earlier today over on table 2 playing in the team semifinals. They played against Western. She lost her match to Akshita Gupta, the long pips backhand player from UBC. Had some nice shots, some good serves. She's a penhold player. And Deng just staying up on the table with the backhand. So you can see here, every shot that Angie plays against the pip side, she has to add topspin. She can't just play a normal counter hit. You have to keep rolling through the ball contact against the pips.
She doesn't seem to mind. She's playing plenty of balls too.
Yep.
That backhand side of Jen.
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as she keeps spinning the ball there, then Deng is going to continue to just block or kind of roll through the ball. She's not going to attack too aggressively.
Unfortunate error there from Jen.
There is the contingent from the UCLA Coed team, giving some support from the bench. Plenty of recognizable faces there. Clips the side edge. I should say the top edge towards the side.
And it appears that the second singles match has gone to UCLA, so that gives them a lead 1-0 against Texas Wesleyan as a whole here.
You can just see Angie just brushing the topspin ball, working the backhand side. She's probably hoping that at some point Deng will slip up and give her a slightly higher ball that she can attack stronger.
That was a really good play of that ball by Angie off of a net ball, and maybe that's because she knew it was practically no spin off of the Gen backhand due to her pips. Sometimes it's difficult to read the change in spin off of a net court.
Great forehand counter. Again, much like game number 1, fairly point for point out here. The third singles match will be played here on table 1, so all crickets over on table 2 right now.
definitely feels the gravity of this match for this gold medal.
Big shot down the middle of the table from Angie Tan. Again, just no separation between these two players at all. Alex Wu, Ted Lee, Ethan Liu and Kai Zarabin right up on the front row there. In a match that has games as close as these, what happens at the end of the game is the most crucial. How the last points are played, how the pressure is handled. Gian Deng sets up 2 game points. Clips the net, but she takes the first one. Big rally. Angie playing aggressively, but Gian Deng countering really well with the backhand and then with the forehand to finish it. 2-0 for the Wesleyan player. I believe she was a singles finalist last year. As far as I recall, she took home silver medals in everything. I think singles, women's doubles, and definitely women's teams. Don't know. I'm not sure if she was playing Coed Teams last year or not. But yeah, it was all silver. So winning the women's doubles for her and Jachi last night was definitely a big deal to finally get some gold, and they'll be looking for the same here in the team event.
They've got a pretty good chance here on paper. If Deng can take this, Jachi Lynn has a good chance of taking on Faith Tong based on ratings. And they may not even need to go to doubles, because on paper, at 4th singles, it does look like Sophia Sapanovic has a stronger rating pretty significantly than her opponent, Gian.
Great save from Angie Tan there on that ball. Recovers off the net. Angie Tan on a good run here to start the third. Berkeley's Vade Sheth has joined the front row there. This is all of the Bay Area kids coming together to cheer for the ladies that they all grew up practicing with. And doing a really good job of finding the crossover there.
what are you seeing different right now in this third game that's made the advantage sway over to Angie's side?
I don't think too many differences, honestly. I think she's definitely placed the ball better. But she's still focusing on that heavy spin into the backhand. I think maybe she started targeting the elbow more. We've seen kind of looking for that transition between backhand and forehand. Wow.
That's an awesome point for Angie. Being pulled pretty much as wide as you can on both wings and then still managing to get there for a forehand cross-court winner. Incredible agility. That's where the footwork massively comes into play.
If anything, I feel like we're seeing more unforced errors from Deng. Just seems to be sending the ball longer, a little bit longer. So Angie 10 needs to be a little bit careful here. Definitely doesn't want to face a momentum swing after having such a great start here in the third game. That's going to be a timeout. That was a quick call after losing that point. She's back at the bench before Jen Deng's even picked up the ball.
Definitely the right call here to go for this timeout. Even if she wins this game and wins it tight, if Deng has a comeback in the second half of the game, then she's going to go into that next game with even more confidence. Angie wants to shut her out to close this game and bring her into the fourth with the momentum to pull her through and force a fifth game. But it is tough here to think that it's completely in Angie's hands, because a lot of these errors don't seem forced coming off of Deng's side. So maybe the bigger factor here is just Deng increasing her quality. Another example of that right there. It's a fairly standard backhand. Smothered into the net. See Angie working a lot harder than Jen there. Again, really controlling the center of the court off of Deng's racket.
Wow, it's really good placement from Angie 10, but this time Deng was ready.
You can't win with power here. It has to be placed power, or else it's coming back.
And you can see the adjustment from Deng just to steady things down. think she got into a phase where she was trying to hit through the ball with the pips too much. Ended up sending the ball sailing long. Now she's just tempered things down a little. She's opting to play with more control. Gets the switch to the forehand, and we're back at 9-9.
This is exactly what Texas needs.
And Deng sets up first match point here.
Very impressive comeback.
Yeah, she's really steadied down on the backhand side.
Mental fortitude.
And Angie Tan still got some shots waiting in the wings.
That forehand telling Deng it's not over till it's over.
There's that slow, heavy spin to the forehand from Angie Tan. And things have switched around. It's a game point for Angie Tan now.
Her first game point of the match.
You can see Deng just piling on the pressure with the backhand side. Angie being forced to continue playing topspin on the ball. You can see her racket angle's a little bit more open. She's always trying to brush the ball up more into the backhand side. That ball clips the net, just in case the players weren't nervous and tense enough already. Deng goes for the forehand opening against that half-long hook serve. I think out of every player I've seen here across the weekend, both on the table and off, Ethan Liu is the player that looks like he's having the best time out there.
Hard not to have a good time here though, Matt.
Angie Tan, quick reflexes. Almost looked like Jen Deng had it in the bag with the step around forehand. But Angie Tan gets a racket to the ball, redirects it down the line, wins game 3 to keep herself alive.
Making it interesting here.
Well, she certainly had a great start in this third game. But for a moment there, it looks like Jen Deng was going to come back and sweep the match away, turn things around, but Angie Tan really dug her heels in there.
And over on court 2, the play has been paused to observe this competitive finals match. But coming up afterwards, we will have the third singles between Jaichi Lynn and Faith Tong.
Okay, 4, Tong to serve, 0-0.
So I think we're going to see Deng start off more steady. I think she definitely made some really great adjustments towards the second half of that last game, even though she didn't win it. So I would anticipate her having a much better start here in the fourth than she did in the third. I think we also saw what Angie has to do in order to win a game. So question is, can she win another one here?
Deng has such a multifaceted game. She can switch into more defensive or more offensive gears depending on what is and isn't working for her. She'll play with the depth, she'll play with her serve, and she'll guide the ball to either wing, easily redirecting.
Yeah, just really, really good control on both sides from Deng. Six 0. So almost the opposite of what we saw in the third game, with Angie Tan taking off to a really great start.
You called it here, Matt. And that's what we expect from a women's singles and women's doubles finalist here. She has plenty of opportunity, she has plenty of experience at this level, making it work and getting to that finish line. Tough double net court there for Angie. She had a chance to put that ball away, but maybe a little tougher to read off of the net. And missed the kill with her backhand punch. Getting exactly what she wanted off of Deng's serve return. Forcing a side spin forehand, side spin shot to come back to her forehand off of that serve and then just making the error.
Still hitting really great wide angles with the forehand counter. Early in the bounce, you can see the timing there. It's about half bounce. Ball picks up a lot of acceleration after it hits the table, and if you can hit earlier in the bounce, you can take a lot of time away from your opponent. So you come up against a player like Deng, who can hit wide angles and early at the same time. Pretty formidable. 6 match points, now 5 still remaining. I feel like she's kind of gotten a little passive the last couple of points. She's got to continue her game strategy.
Pressure certainly remains on Angie here.
Ball hits the net, doesn't make it over. 11-6. It's 3 games to 1. And Jen Deng from Texas Wesleyan wins the match, ties this women's team final up at 1 match each. Next match up here is the third singles on table 1 between Jiaqi Lynn and Faith Tong. Be back with that in just a moment. So, match is tied up here. Well, the team match is tied up. One match each for UCLA and for Texas Wesleyan. Third singles match here. Faith Tong on camera now. UCLA shirt. Taking on Lynn. Faith is likely to play with a little bit more speed and power. Chachi is a very steady player.
UCLA last year, very dominant force on the women's table tennis side, taking the women's singles, the women's doubles, and the women's teams events. Gold in all three of those events. Texas Wesleyan looking to take back
All of
more
them.
of those titles. Yes, they took one back yesterday, looking to take back another right now.
They want all of them.
Absolutely. One at a time. And they definitely have the firepower to do it.
One of the challenging things when you come up against a player like Lynn is when she gets on her forehand, she has a really solid inside-out forehand. You don't see as many female players using big inside-out forehands. But she's just so steady, even at the mid-distance. Trying to get Faith Tong pumped up. She definitely has the speed to make an impact here. You can see here in these exchanges, much quicker from Faith's side of the table. It's a matter of whether she can break through that defensive countering wall of Lynn or not.
Smart play jamming Faith there with a body shot.
It was a great serve return from Tong, but
little reverse pendulum serve there.
yeah, also again, don't really see too many reverse pendulum serves in women's table tennis, so she definitely has a skill set that is, I would say, broader than the typical women's table tennis skill set and tactics. It's a very, very awkward serve to receive, the reverse pendulum.
You said you were talking with Jaichi off court earlier, Matt. Does she have any insight, or what did you learn talking to her?
She usually just asks me how I'm coping in the commentary booth. I know yesterday they wanted the schedule to move along so that they could play the women's doubles final, and then I think they're just very focused on enjoying. You know, they want to win, but they really want to enjoy this as their last year in college table tennis before they graduate.
They
So
being Jaichi
and Deng. And I mean, you could see even in the most intense match between Deng and Angie that we just saw, Jaichi was still just kind of relaxed and smiling on the bench and having a bit of a laugh.
A little bit of a contrast from Deng. She can have a little more negative body language on the court, and I think that they complement each other well in the doubles for that reason. Jaichi bringing her energy up and keeping them both more leveled out.
Great backhand opening there from Tong.
Texas Wesleyan dominant this year in the two events that have completed, winning the women's doubles and taking the silver in the men's doubles. And then just a couple hours ago, taking the gold in the Coed Teams. So 2 out of 3, going for 3 out of 4 right now as far as first place, but getting on the podium for every event that has completed.
Gold for Coed team. The Coed Teams is not finished yet, surely. There's no way.
Oh, forgive me.
That has to have been a semi-final. I would imagine.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
because I know
the
right
2v3
now. I know right now that Nikhil is making a mad dash from the airport to the venue. He's flown in straight from the Czech Republic, where he was playing World Olympic doubles, mixed doubles qualification. So he's on a tear right now, trying to get here to help his team. I think he's hoping that Berkeley will play against Wesleyan. I don't know if that's the case. I haven't looked at the draw yet. Faith Tong is looking significantly more well-positioned here in these rallies. Definitely, as I said in the first game, she has a speed advantage and a power advantage. Just a matter of how she connects those points together and formulates those points. Unfortunate service error there from Faith Tong as she goes for the hook serve. She has a good lead here. Can't afford to make errors like that.
serve is so critical in setting the tone for any point. Perhaps feeling pressure from her opponent and just trying to put a little more pace or depth on that serve to get an early advantage.
And Lynn is making a spirited comeback here. Trails by only one.
Faith hopefully getting some words of wisdom from her teammate here on this break. Took a timeout to try to change the momentum with a lead still in this game, up 9 out, but Jaichi serving and coming back with a vengeance after being a little bit down here. See if she gets anything out of this little pause. Huge difference in any match, going 1-1 versus 2-0 in game scores. Awesome comeback from Jaichi here. Nice to see Faith pulling out a deep aggressive serve, catching Jaichi a little off guard.
She misses the opportunity. She's certainly been going for her shots throughout this game. Great setup, good deep push. Got the slower opening that she wanted.
Faith serving to stay in this year.
Better time for that.
With almost exactly 200 rating points between these players, really a lot more competitive than one would have expected.
Tong sets up game point. She's got some good support from team bench and then also from the sideline as well. And she will take the second game. Faith Tong draws things up at 1 game each here.
A couple deep topspin serves to gain the advantage towards the end of that game. See what tricks Jaichi has upper sleeve to come out on a different footing in game 3, or if Faith can stick with this. UCLA really needs this win here for the door to remain open in getting the championship trophy here today.
see Faith Tong really getting a lot of action on the ball with the forehand, whipping through the contact.
Really loading, using the core and the legs. Both players getting lower attack and get a little extra arc on that ball off their forehand loops.
Great save there against the net ball. Chelsea then. I'm not sure how she managed to do that. Just scooped it up. Then slowed things back down.
Few errors off the serve return of Jai Chu's racket in the last 8 points or so. Not necessarily giving Faith an advantage, but maybe making it a little quicker to get that advantage. Players always having an advantage on their serve, but less common to see errors at this level right off the serve and not a few hits deeper into the rally.
Tong is just playing some solid table tennis out there.
Making space out of nothing on the shallow cross-court angle. Coming off the side of the table, closer to the net than the base of the table.
Great long fast serve there from Lynn.
Kind of a loose serve there by Faith.
Good setup though. I mean, the forehand follow-up was great. I think if anything, she's struggling a little bit more with playing more aggressively on the backhand right now. Seems to be kind of pulling through the shoulder a bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Lynn really trying to pressure down that backhand side more. I mean, Faith's forehand game has been really solid the last game and a half.
Cheeky top side spin backhand return there. Maybe top or side underspin.
sticking to her guns here. That's a big opportunity for Lynn. Well positioned for that ball that came to the middle. Wasn't too quick.
2 points of the way away from the game with 2 serves off her racket right now.
I think anytime Faith has been able to get onto her forehand, she has been sending a pretty clear message. Just great acceleration. Again, the aggression on the backhand side is more the issue for her. I think on the forehand, dangerous territory for Lynn to be playing, but the backhand side, certainly some more opportunities to force some attacking errors. What a rally to finish the game.
She did exactly what she needed to do there. We've got 2-1 Faith up in this second, or rather third singles match between Texas Wesleyan and UCLA. The 1 and 2 seeds making it to the finals as expected here. Can UCLA upset the 1-seeded team here? Can they force a doubles tiebreaker? Or rather, do they even need to?
This is a big match for the UCLA team. Right now, the main plan for Wesleyan is always for their top 2 players to win the singles. And then they have a chance with the 4th singles, and then the doubles is the ultimate backup. But if UCLA can win this match here and lead 2-1, that would certainly put some added pressure on Texas Wesleyan.
Matt, what do you think we're going to see differently from Chi-Chi this 4th game, rather?
I mean, she just needs to cut back on the unforced errors. I think she needs to go after the backhand side a lot more. I think even half-long serves, changing the pace into the backhand half. We've definitely seen more attacking errors from Faith Tong on the backhand half of the table than on the forehand. I think if Lynn does play to the forehand and Faith's attacking, which she has been doing, redirect the ball, get it back across to the backhand side. I think the transition back from forehand to backhand has been a problem for her. Going from backhand to forehand, she's been amazing so far this match. Serve just clips the net. Goes from a net serve to serving an ace.
Throwing in that serve to the forehand every once in a while. Don't want to do it too often.
Serve return out wide to the forehand corner. 5-2 for Lynn. She knows how important her role is here in the Texas Wesleyan team lineup.
Awesome to see Faith up a game, though. But she's not used to playing from behind us in this tournament.
So you can see here Lynn just focusing on that middle third of the table. Looking for that backhand. Changing the balance of how Faith is playing forehand, so that she's having to move to the right. If you're looking from this angle, she's having to move further across to the backhand side in order to play forehand. This is a much more typical tactic in women's table tennis, is when they're playing backhand across 2/3, is finding that transition of them switching to forehand, but make sure it's when they're moving back towards the backhand side.
And then finish it cross court to the forehand when they're leaning the opposite direction.
So the thing is, now you see 7 game points. The thing is, when somebody's playing with so much confidence, it can be really hard to try and get the upper hand against them. But you can see here, 11-3 now, and Lynn ties the match up at 2 games each. You can see that throughout that game, Faith didn't really make any errors with the shot that got her to this point. So we didn't see that many forehand errors from her, because she didn't have the opportunity to play forehand. But all of the other errors that crept in on the backhand side, they're going to affect her confidence overall. Losing the game 11-3 is going to affect her confidence overall. And indirectly, that may have a negative impact on her forehand game as well, moving into the 5th.
That's a fair point. If it doesn't have that effect, that probably won't change Jaichi's approach. She's probably going to keep attacking that backhand, and Faith is going to have to either prove she can clean that side up and work with it more, or she's going to have to really engage the footwork and get the forehand out of the holster a little more in that left corner. Jaichi, the 2nd seed in the women's singles that will be occurring tomorrow, behind teammate and first singles from Texas Wesleyan, Gian Deng, who we saw play briefly before this.
Just clips the back edge. Unfortunate start for Faith. She played a great forehand there to get things going. So we do in fact have, after this entire women's teams final, the co-ed final on this table. It is between Texas Wesleyan and UC Berkeley.
meetings have been pretty much on point this tournament. Every event I've seen has had the 1 and 2 seeds in the finals.
Not the women's doubles.
No.
No. Women's doubles second seeds were Joanna and Angie, but upset by Western in the semi-final yesterday evening.
Ah, yes. That's a good point.
Right now, Lynn switches ends with the best possible score margin. 5 points to 0. Oh, apparently it's 6-0. And they've already switched ends. I'm behind the times. It's just a total turnaround here. 7-0 now for Lynn.
Looks like a completely different match.
Oh, she almost saved it.
That's one way to get on the board, but she needed something to stop this. I am surprised she hasn't... Oh, she has called a timeout already.
I mean, Lynn is just controlling the ball into Faith's backhand side and almost just letting her make the errors.
Lynn looking so calm and collected.
Still a lot of vocal support for the UCLA player.
If Faith could just get that forehand more involved in these rallies.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Lynn's being really intentional about her ball placement.
Right. She has to introduce more risk to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you can see here she's attacking straight into the middle. She knows where that transition is now, where Faith's going to switch and play forehand. And she's kind of just managed to stay on the backhand side of it all the time. Tong's not down and out yet. There you can see she started adjusting her position of where she's going to play forehand. Now knowing that Lynn's going to play up the middle so much, if I were Faith, I would be looking for forehand across a little bit more of the court. Again, really good elbow placement from Lynn. She sets up 5 match points, fighting back from 2-1 down.
You're absolutely right, though, Matt. She doesn't give up any real estate. She's not willing to open up that forehand to more land. Seems like she just doesn't want to take that risk of being beaten down the line. But at this point, you would think she'd want to change something a little bit. Bring out that weapon more, even if it's risky.
Big winner shot there from Faith Tong. Still 3 match points left for Lynn. And it's a timeout from Texas Wesleyan. Lynn just needing 1 final point to get herself over the line.
a few new faces, to me at least, on the Texas Wesleyan Coed team this year. Always fun seeing the new styles that are brought in. They tend to have a good variety of players, pen hold, choppers, which is very beneficial for them in their training as well.
Lynn comes back from the timeout and closes out the match. 11-7 in the fifth. It's a tough struggle for her at certain parts of the match, and Faith Tong played outstandingly to put herself in a really good position, leading 2-1, but a couple of shifts from Lynn, and balance of confidence certainly changed to favor the Wesleyan player, giving her the win, and Texas Wesleyan now lead 2-1.
UCLA has an uphill battle, to say the least, in this fourth singles match. Coming up shortly.
Sorry about that. I'm getting ready for tonight's banquet, so that's a joke. You can all laugh now. Sorry. One side is blue, the other side's red. Blue, so it'll be red. Red. Want to serve? Which side do you want? Okay, go down. 1 second. Do you have the ball? Yeah. Come in. Serve on this side.
So singles number 4, Texas Wesleyan leading 2-1 in matches here in the women's team final. Sophia Sapanovic taking on Gian Ying. So for Ying, the pen holder on the far side for UCLA. She needs to win this match to keep UCLA alive in the final and to force a deciding doubles. But Sapanovic is looking to finish things off here for Texas Wesleyan. Saw Ying play earlier today in the, I think it was the women's team semifinal.
Probably see that play a lot there by Sophia, pulling her out wide on the forehand side so that she can attack the pen hold backhand.
Ying does use, as you just saw there, the reverse pen hold backhand, so she hits the ball off the back of her racket. It's better for being able to loop against backspin.
Big return serve. On the reverse pen hold side there, off the short serve.
Ying taking a lot of risks out there, playing very aggressively.
Makes sense. Prevent Sophia from getting into a rhythm on the court and taking over.
Got a racket over the first block, but not the second. And again, really going for broke. Lots of third ball attack attempts from Ying, but percentages are a little too low here.
Yep, they're looking a little wild.
Couple of backhand flick receives go into the net. Sapanovic has 10-4. That's game point for the first game. Texas Wesleyan will be pretty happy on the bench right now. If they can close out this match, they will reclaim the women's team title that was lost to them at the hands of UCLA last year. Of course, that UCLA team included upcoming US Olympians Amy Wong and Rachel Sung.
And Rachel's younger sister right now over there giving Gian some hopefully helpful advice. We're going to need to see something different this second game if UCLA is going to claw back any type of opportunity to force the doubles tiebreaker.
Sophia Sapanovic is a business junior And Texas Wesleyan. He's originally from Belgrade, Serbia.
Texas Wesleyan pulling in a solid amount of international students due to their scholarship program for the table tennis team.
Well, and of course their program director, Jasna Reta, is a former Olympic bronze medalist in women's doubles representing Yugoslavia. So she certainly has a lot of connections with players and is trying to give those players opportunity to be here in the United States studying and playing table tennis as part of the program. Stefanovic is just playing heavy backspin ball. Can see really good depth on the table, but Gian Ying has struggled to play topspin against those heavy backspin shots. That's with the flick receive on the serve and with the first opening loop as well.
Very impatient play from Gian. He's trying to finish every point within probably the first 4 hits. Sometimes going for attacks when she's really not in position.
Yeah, I think just everything's too early. It's kind of a little bit trigger happy, I think is the best way to put it, is just teeing off a little bit too early. Sometimes it pays off, but it's very high risk. That forehand flick was great. Yeah, when the timing's right, definitely pays off, but I feel like the timing has been too early on the majority of occasions. Stefanovic is just continuing to play heavy backspin. And Ying just can't drive that ball up over the net. So right now, 7 game points for Stefanovic.
1 save. There it is, game 2, 11-4, decisively favoring the odds for Sophia in closing out this head-to-head women's team final and bringing Texas Wesleyan another title. Last time I was here 7 years ago, Texas was painfully strong in every single event. I think there might have been one event that wasn't won by Texas Wesleyan.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
in 2017, I think it was
it
all.
was absolutely
Wesleyan.
dominant. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Jishan
won the singles. Fengze and Jishan won the doubles, because I remember playing them in the quarterfinal with Tim and losing 3-1.
Nice.
And they were so difficult to play against because Fengze's service game is kind of old school, very hard to read, to see the contact, and if you make a loose receive and then Jishan's the next player up with his forehand, you are toast. Yeah, women's teams, I think, was won by Wesleyan at the time also. Co-ed teams, definitely. The only one I don't remember is women's doubles. Don't remember whether that was won by Berkeley or by Wesleyan, because I know Berkeley at the time had Lily Zhang and Prachi Jha both playing, which were
That's
both
a good
national
point.
team members.
That's a good point. I believe Lily won. Lily might have won the women's singles.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
that
Lily
year.
won the women's singles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she played Wu Ye in the final. So Stepanovic is really dominant out there. Stepanovic has got to be feeling great right now. I mean, to be in a position to win the championship title for your team and kind of just be breezing through the match. I'd love to be in that position. Usually it's like stressing out to try and win for the team, but she is
Coasting
just
through a
sailing
final.
through
Don't
here.
see that often at a final.
Also, on the other side of the coin, tough position to be in for Ying to try and figure out how she can make an impact in the match. I think there's only so much she can do, but I do think slowing down and trying to spin the ball more definitely work better for her. I think just been going for too many flat drive shots.
Service fault giving Gian 1 point more in this game. And in the background, you might see the UC Berkeley team, the co-ed team, coming into the frame, getting set up for the final, which is coming up right after this. Can't tell, but it almost seems like the penhold backhand, the reverse backhand for Gian is, oh no, maybe not that time. Sometimes it just sounds like such a brushing contact, it almost sounded like up hips.
Oh, no, definitely not.
No, okay. 6 match points for Sophia here. She looks so excited.
She really has that I'm winning this smile.
Absolutely.
The
Still
finish
light on
line
the
is
toes there.
1 toe away from the finish line.
Oh, feeling a little nerves, but she's going to overcome him. It ain't over till it's over, though. There it is.
And Texas Wesleyan are the women's team champions. Sophia Stepanovic winning 11-4, 11-4, 11-6. 3-1 the team score as Texas Wesleyan reclaim their throne.
really great to see Texas Wesleyan come out and decisively take the victory in this women's team finals.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it really on the shoulders of Jia Lynn. I mean, she almost looked in a difficult position there, and it could have gone to the doubles if Faith Tung had won that match, but she dug deep, got the result. Jen Deng winning over Angie Tan in the first match. Joanna Sung winning the only point for UCLA against Yu Chi Xiao. But Wesleyan get the job done. They pick up a gold medal in the women's teams. And for us, we're back here in just a moment for the start of the Coed Teams final between UC Berkeley and Texas Wesleyan. We'll be right back.
All right, give it up for our champions here. Congratulations. It looks like you had a hard-fought battle. I gotta ask, it was a long road here. How'd you guys prepare for this?
Actually, we ready for, I think we will have very difficult time today because it's final. It's not easy game. So yeah, we just prepare for that and do our best.
Gotcha, of course. You guys want to add anything on?
Well, we were practicing a lot, so at the end, it's worth it.
That's like our last year, three of us.
Yeah, we were also.
And last night.
And definitely, you guys have put in a lot of effort to get to here.
Yeah.
So again, congratulations. Is there anything you guys want to say for the people back at Texas Wesleyan?
Thank you, all the people. Yes, thank you for supporting us, and yeah, we're so happy we made it. It's very cute for us. Yeah.
So again, congratulations, and I think you still have a couple more matches, correct? All right, best of luck in the rest of the tournament.
All matches on table 1, men, the co-ed final.
Receive. Receive. Which side do you prefer? This side. This side? Okay. 2 minutes.
Well, it's time for my favorite event of the college nationals and of the college season, the Coed Team Finals. We're here at the University of Wisconsin, Eau Claire. First time back here since 2017 for the NCTTA Collegiate National Table Tennis Championships. I'm Matt Hetherington here with Justin D'Antonio, and a face that college table tennis fans will be familiar with, US table tennis fans will be familiar with, but we haven't seen yet so far this tournament. Nikhil Kumar, as I said earlier, having just competed in the World Olympic mixed doubles qualifications in the Czech Republic, got on a plane, flew straight here to Wisconsin. I believe he landed at 12:30 today and came straight here to the venue. So he probably only arrived at the venue maybe an hour ago at best. I'm sure he dropped his stuff at the hotel first. He's taking on Senura Silva, and we're about to see how things go for Nikhil. I mean, he's going to get himself as pumped up as possible to keep that travel tiredness away. Of course, Senura Silva has been a standout player in the US, especially in Major League Table Tennis.
Let's go.
He's among the top 3 players for the inaugural season. And he'll be playing actually in the finals in Chicago at the end of this month. So Senura has been outstanding.
And Nikhil's also in the MLTT, right?
Yep.
And how's he doing?
He's playing for Seattle, so they've knocked out. They didn't make the finals. But he had a pretty good win record himself in singles. Very contrasting styles here. Senura is very quick around the table. Fast footwork. Fast shots, so compact but quick shots, but also really good in a counter looping rally back from the table. He also plays really well against incoming speed. So when he plays against quick players, he usually plays really well. Nikhil, on the other hand, is very disruptive play style. So his main goal out there is to make his opponent uncomfortable, to break their rhythm. We see a lot of slow first openings, changes in pace during the rally, chop blocks, so the spin changes in the rally as well. And really tactically a very sound player.
Nikhil looking very comfortable out here. You wouldn't know that he just got off of a plane and out of an hour-and-a-half car ride. Senura Silva looking like the one that needs to get his bearings.
Oh yeah, I didn't factor that in, that we're an hour and a half from the airport. Okay, so he literally just got here less than maybe 40 minutes ago at best. I know how badly he wanted to show up here for this match.
He looks fresh. He looks absolutely pumped. And one advantage he has, while he may not be calibrated, might be a little jet lagged, is he's probably a lot fresher. He hasn't been playing all day and all yesterday.
So actually big credit to the UC Berkeley team for reaching the final without Nikhil. So you've got to give a lot of props to Sheth, who stepped up to play in the #1 position.
Awesome to have that kind of depth in your roster. Yelling out after every point he wins here, Nikhil. No
I
shortage
think
of excitement.
he's definitely going to want to keep Senura close to the table. He doesn't want to get into those counter looping rallies with Senura because he's really strong there. But if he can slow down the pace, that's really going to cause some problems for Silva. As I said, Silva loves playing against quick players, and Nikhil is a nightmare for players like that. 11-4, first game, Nikhil Kumar. It's his first game in the competition. I'm sure he would have loved to have been here. He was, I believe it was him who's the top seed. I can't remember who he was playing with.
That's correct.
Possibly him and Vade were top seeds in the men's doubles, but of course he wasn't in the country, so.
He is also the top seed in the men's singles with the highest active NCTTA rating in the country this year.
Probably one of the highest on record, I would say.
For sure. Not many people have broken the 2700s.
He's way up there, 27.81.
Yeah, he's close to 28.
Yep.
I will say normally the co-ed teams is my favorite event as well. I love having the women able to compete alongside the men here. But maybe this year my biggest excitement is for the men's singles event. There's so many strong athletes competing, and we have 3 different previous champions competing in that draw. One of them on the court right now.
Nikhil just unloading here. You can see him ease into the rally slow. But once he gets in and he gets those opportunities to attack, goes for the big shots. There's the change in pace that's going to give Senura a lot of trouble.
These rallies are absolutely ridiculous.
If things keep moving quickly, then Senura's solid in the rally, but Nikhil's very capable of just grinding things to a halt in the middle of a really explosive exchange. Very good touch. He's using a tackier rubber, I think, on both sides. It's much less common among Chinese players, let alone non-Chinese players. And ball keeps clipping the net, but Nikhil's hitting winners.
Nasty inside-out forehand. An angle you won't get much if you're not playing a lefty, or at least not with the side spin on that you're going to get from a lefty.
Senura needs to, first of all, stop those big third ball attacks from Nikhil. But then he needs to adjust his pace. You can see this with him getting slow into the rally. Should help him a little bit.
Yikes. Couple loose errors here.
I mean, I would say easily that Nikhil Kumar is, in the US, the most difficult player to come up against. There are very few players that have Nikhil's number in a match that can be like, yes, I can beat this guy. Confident that I can beat this guy. He is very tough to play against.
Last year, I believe, we saw a someone calling out Nikhil's name there.
I thought it was the umpire, I'm not sure. But the umpires haven't said anything. I definitely heard that.
This is the most packed I've seen the crowd in the tournament so far.
Oh my goodness. What? That was just absurd. Senura Silva just fly swats the ball.
That was lovely. Going for it again. Maybe a little ambitious there.
It's kind of a resignation forehand.
Yeah, not good body language. Being down 4-11 2 games in a row. Didn't expect it to be this dominant, especially with Nikhil just getting here.
I think style matchup wise, Nikhil is really a player that Senura would not want to find himself up against.
So when you are saying Silva likes to play against quick players, are you talking about foot speed? Are you talking about moving the ball around or speed of shot? What do you mean by that?
I think any player that plays close to the table, any player that plays like him, so close to the table, compact strokes, relatively early in the bounce, and lots of topspin rallies, that is his wheelhouse. I've seen him play really great players that play like that and just tear them to bits.
Gotcha.
He's a rhythm player, so he moves really
see.
well. You get into a rally with him, he's just fantastic in a rally, in a topspin rally.
Gotcha.
But Nikhil's not your typical player. He's not going to give you rhythm. Senura, he needs to adjust. Maybe he needs to play with more power like we just saw there. I think also with Nikhil, it's trying to get the ball out wider to the forehand. Wide to the forehand, and also target that first backhand opening. You know, Nikhil tends to lift that first backhand opening. If you play a heavy push, it can be awkward, but if you get comfortable with the timing of that ball, it can give you some opportunities.
Senura, a freshman, business major at Texas Wesleyan, originally from Sri Lanka. We have over 20 nations represented at the tournament this year. Don't ask me to name them. Senura finding some rhythm in this game. Oh. Little too cheeky there.
Senura's being wise here. He's playing slow against slow instead of trying to find the rhythm that he's used to. He needs to shift into another rhythm of playing. But also remember, for Senura, the longer that he can push this match on, the better chance he has of winning. I mean, if he can push this to 5, then you'd almost favor him.
Really?
I think so. The last thing that Nikhil wants right now is to jump on the table for his first match and play a long kind of gritty 5-game match. He wants to get out there, get his point for the team, and get off the table.
Okay. Interesting.
Come on, fight. What's up? Hi, Nikhil.
Tournament directors electing to put the 4 singles matches in order instead of in parallel. So the second singles will not go on until this first singles match is complete. looking a little different than the rest of the tournament, where we allot 2 tables per head-to-head match, and so the first and second singles tend to go in parallel.
Great serve and attack from Senura Silva.
Silva has to hold on to this lead here.
You can see him really trying to target that forehand corner of Nikhil. And Nikhil's got a great anchor position on his backhand side. Definitely comfortable playing out of the backhand corner. This is not where Kumar wants to be. This is where Senura wants him. They back off the table, get into a counter-attack rally further back, and Senura, you've got to give him the upper hand, I think, in those scenarios.
Hoping for many years of competition featuring Silva to come, with him being a freshman. Oh, very nice. Great to get Silva his first game point opportunity of this match. Nikhil, not sure how much more we'll see of him in NCTTA. He is only a junior, but with him competing professionally and I believe in the Olympics, probably unlikely to have him coming back this coming year.
Well, he hasn't qualified for this year for Paris yet. He did finish top 2 at the US Olympic trials, so unlike the women who had already qualified the team through Pan American Championships, the men didn't. So Nikhil, he's got to go and play, I believe it's in Lima in Peru.
So he has to qualify individually.
Yeah, him and Kanak both need to go and play the Pan American trial for singles. I don't think they'll be, there's no opportunity for them to play teams on the men's side.
And what is the format of the teams table tennis at the Olympics?
It's a 5-match format, opens with doubles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Olympic format is doubles first and then singles afterwards. Victor Liu on the bench for Berkeley. Former US national teammate of Nikhil's. Played in the World Championships in Budapest in 2019.
Senura's really found a more efficient gear. We can expect to see these two again tomorrow in the singles, potentially playing each other. Silva, the 8th seed in the men's singles. Oh, lovely backhand kill there by Silva.
Big change in pace there from Kumar. But you can see Silva adjusting his pace.
Come on!
He's a player that's usually comfortable playing quick, but he's slowed things down pretty successfully.
Wow, phenomenal.
Solid rally from both players. Senura certainly at the driver's seat there.
Every point right now has a completely different rhythm. These teams are ridiculously stacked, with all of Texas Wesleyan's first 3 players rated over 2,500.
Silva had a direct line there, cross-court out to Nikhil's forehand. That would have been dangerous if it had landed.
High risk, though, playing a forehand side. High risk, though, playing a forehand side serve return as a backhand. If you can't play that quality high enough.
Come on. Let's go.
I love these lefty versus righty forehand battles.
Silva has been really solid with that forehand flip kill. He's an incredibly athletic player. Works very hard on the physical aspect, the physical training aspect of table tennis, and you can just see how light he is on his feet.
Hey, go.
This is big here.
Let's go.
3 away for Nikhil from the finish line and from Senura's score.
Kumar tries to redirect the ball down the line. Silva recovers from the net ball. Gets in his first backhand opening.
Probably the most defensive point we've seen.
This time Silva gets backed off the table. You can see Nikhil trying to hook, really trying to hook that ball out wider to Senura's backhand. Also slows the pace of the ball down for a player that's further back. And Nikhil connects together a great backhand opening, forehand step around follow-up. Three match points for Kumar. And he does it. Nikhil Kumar for UC Berkeley. Straight off the plane, straight from the airport. All business here. Kumar, what a solid start in the match. 11-4 the first 2 games. You felt like Senura Silva made some really solid adjustments in the third, and even coming through the early stages of the 4th game. But ultimately, the Tokyo Olympian, Nikhil Kumar, and Paris hopeful still. Gets the job done. UC Berkeley 1-0 over Texas Wesleyan here in the Coed team final.
Coming up, second singles will be Sheth versus Jonathan McDonald. Also very close ratings-wise at the second single spot. Sheth was scheduled to be Nikhil Kumar's doubles partner in the men's doubles event. But obviously with Nikhil having other commitments, they were unable to attend. They were the first seeds in the doubles event. And it would be interesting if this went to the doubles tiebreaker, having those two competing against the men's doubles finalists, or at least Jonathan McDonald, who competed in the men's doubles final last night. Jonathan would have a different partner, a higher rated partner in that doubles match in Senura Silva. And it is interesting on a team like Texas Wesleyan, they've got so many options for doubles partners, having 2, maybe 3 strong doubles teams in that men's event. I'm not familiar with Ved's game. I've seen a lot of McDonald the last couple days. Very calculated player, extremely tactical, respectful. I've really liked seeing him and getting to know his game. One of the top-rated players here today. Certainly the tallest player in the top few on the men's side.
Yeah, I mean, Vade is, I would say in the last year, has really kind of sprouted in level. He's had some really outstanding results in US national trial events and really lifted his level. So this is his first year playing college. UC Berkeley were pretty excited to have him here. As I said, he's really helped lift the team in the absence of Nikhil Kumar, putting himself up into the 1 spot and delivering the goods.
Looking at the Coed team roster for Texas Wesleyan, a majority of their players from South America, Colombia and Brazil. And as far as the UC Berkeley, stark contrast with all but one of their players from California. Cool to have some homebred players on that team.
I think style matchup-wise, Vade has a little advantage here. If he can keep the ball across to Jonathan's forehand. McDonald has a really impressive backhand side. Gets a lot of wrist action into his backhand. Good acceleration. Great power. On the forehand side, he tends to pick up the ball a little bit later. Vade's always been really good at kind of backhand punching and counter hitting the ball. So he could definitely find some opportunity there.
Matt, I know you've played a little internationally.
Well, here we go.
McDonald playing originally from Stockholm, Sweden. Is there anything about the European game or the Swedish game that you can see in his style that you expect from players from that region?
Honestly, yes and no. He definitely kind of picks the ball up a little bit later on the forehand side and plays with spin. that's more typically European, but I think his backhand is not that typical. But I think it's actually a good thing for him. He really plays quick kind of closed angle.
Huge forehand there from McDonald. Wow. Wow, phenomenal. McDonald lunging out to the right side to take that forehand. His momentum pulled him further after the shot, so he took the next one that far out as a backhand.
McDonald seems to be in pretty good shape out there right now. He was under 21 national champion in Sweden. Does play really great angles off both wings. That just skims the edge of the table. Big commitment there to that shot. And definitely can't afford to let that reverse pendulum drift even a little bit long. McDonald pretty solid against the half long ball. Does look like he's picking the ball up a lot earlier than we would usually expect, though. There's a lot of the serves we've seen from him so far. He's been playing mostly doubles from what I've been commentating and seen him in other matches, but usually the ball that drifts over the forehand edge of the table, he tends to pick up later. Right now his timing's looking a little bit more aggressive.
Perhaps a slight stack in the Texas Wesleyan top couple seeds as far as rating goes. McDonald actually slightly higher than their first seed, Senura Silva, at least by NCTTA rating. McDonald's reading Ved's serve like a book right now.
You can see how much work Ved's having to do in each rally in terms of footwork movement as well.
Nice flat smack of that drop shot to the short forehand side. Ved left it just a little bit up too high, especially with the length of his opponent. Reaching those short balls is certainly not a concern.
McDonald goes long and fast. Takes game number 1 here. Texas Wesleyan definitely need McDonald to get them on the board after Nikhil's impressive display in the first match against Senura Silva. McDonald tactically looking really good out there in this match.
Third singles comes up next. Santiago Montes Solarte, who was McDonald's doubles partner in the men's doubles final yesterday against the Algettis from Indiana. But the Texas Wesleyan team has opted to choose a different pairing for the doubles tiebreaker here with Senura Silva instead.
They have to, because Senura's in the A position.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, when I saw the men's doubles draws, and I saw Senura with Eduardo and McDonald with Montes, initially my head was thinking McDonald and Senura, I feel, would have been a good choice to put together.
Right. Right.
Who knows? I could be very wrong. I mean, their coaches are not silly; they know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
But my feeling was that they would potentially play well together. I don't know if we're going to get the chance to find out. We may do.
You know, it's been a long day, but I kind of hope that we do. I would love to finish this event with the doubles. Ved's forehand just skimming the edge of the table there. Absolutely zero chance for McDonald to return it.
Definitely see Vade making a more conscious effort to try and control the length of the serve. We saw some of the serves drifting half long to the forehand in the first game. Didn't get much mercy from McDonald.
Deep speed serve, catching Ved off guard there.
Yeah, McDonald has really good long serves. Wade manages to keep things together there. Great inside-out forehand shot too. I think if Vade can be the player that initiates the attack first, I feel like he would have upper hand in the rallies. I think in the first game, he just played too loose, and McDonald was the player that attacked first. And if McDonald attacks first, things tend to go very differently because he plays those wide angles. Great counter there from McDonald. You give him a wide angle. A lot of the time he'll give you a wide angle back. It's a great strength of taller table tennis players. Kind of using that acceleration off the wings.
Oh, good heavens. Just driving anytime it's in the strike zone on the forehand or the backhand. And somehow he's still losing this game.
goodness. That is a wipeout of a backhand. There's one side of the table you just have to keep yourself away from with McDonald. McDonald ties things up. 8 points each. That just dribbles over the net.
Really nice block there from Ved. He attacked on the forehand side and Johnson slapped it back, and he somehow had the time to respond. Now seeing Ved's first game point at 10-8 in this second game to tie it up. Can McDonald hold it up?
Great play there from Vade.
Saucy.
One game each now. These are the kind of shots that Vade wants. He wants McDonald picking the ball up late, below the table. Give him a chance to get his big forehand counter in. There from the side angle you can see, as soon as McDonald lifts that ball, Vade can just drive through the contact.
What advice do you think these two players are receiving on the sideline during this break?
I mean, Vade, he's got to keep the service game pretty tight, especially the forehand, unless he can get the ball to drop over the side of the table, which is tough when you're right-hander playing another right-hander. His goal has to be targeting McDonald's first forehand opening. If he can get the ball with enough pressure on his ball that McDonald's picking the ball up late, then he has a good chance to counter. McDonald, I feel like he needs to work things to get the ball on his backhand more. I mean, some of the backhands he played in that second game were pretty incredible.
Absolutely, and both today and yesterday, you see him hit a fairly unusual shot in table tennis. Pretty well, which is the inside-out backhand from the right side of the table.
But also, McDonald, he needs to get back to what he was doing in the first game. In the first game, we very rarely saw him let the ball drop at all. So his timing was a little bit earlier. He was definitely more aggressive.
On his heels already there, right off the serve. Big contrast from the first game. He's eating up Ved's serves.
So it looks like seems like Thomas Hu there is a serve judge. Put his hand up to indicate that his head was covering the contact.
McDonald
Is questioning the positioning of where he's standing on the table and where Vader's saying, if I'm serving down the line, I'm opening my body out. You open your body out more when you make contact. So he's saying, how can I have covered the contact? Kind of difficult to see from that angle.
I can barely see the ball at this speed. I am quite impressed. We get the best seats in the house here, Matt. Very jealous of you guys most years and happy to be here today.
Well, the only unfortunate part about being where we are now, which is kind of right behind the table in one corner, is that when you're doing the commentary, you don't actually watch the table, you watch the live stream screen. So even though we have the best seats in the house, we're kind of on par with everyone watching at home anyway. Which is good. We get to see the different camera angles and look at things in slow motion replay and stuff like that. But yeah.
The replays are nice.
These seats are wasted on us. Full length timeout here. They're taking the full minute. Timeout timer runs down. There's Lynn.
Fed has really turned things around from game one, controlling everything since then. And McDonald looking out of his element right now. Crafty though there.
It's a nice first ball, but not quite around the net, but close to it. McDonald with a bit of a chop block to defend against that.
Going for his big forehand kill there, as he has been, but sailing it a little long. When it rains, it pours. That net court just bouncing it slightly beyond the rear of the table. Digging McDonald's hole deeper here. Texas Wesleyan player looking unenthusiastic, to say the least.
Well, he's in a tough spot here in the third. I think he played a great opening game. Pushed all the way across onto the forehand corner and plays backhand. Certainly not where he wants to be on the table. Sheth wins now game 3 by a pretty clear margin. Back to the bench, Nikhil Kumar, usually a very active and vocal player in the coaching role on the bench.
We'll see if Bruno keeps coaching the team here. It seems like he's played a big role in the box for the Coed team throughout this event. Maybe they ought to get him on the payroll.
McDonald locks in the first point of game 4.
Texas Wesleyan team aggressively trying to pump up their player here in the 4th.
Very tactful point from McDonald. You can see him always trying to cut those wide angles to the forehand. Flick over the table. McDonald, strong start.
McDonald's forehand is back in action. The error count is far lower this game. They whipped him into shape over on that changeover. Sometimes all it takes is a minute to shake the psyche that was holding you back. What a topsy-turvy match. Momentum shifting back and forth between these two players.
That long, fast serve to the backhand from McDonald has really paid out dividends for him at certain times throughout this match. Again, McDonald really trying to cut the serve receive over that forehand edge. Vade having to drop pretty low to pick that up.
Red came out swinging that point and it did not faze McDonald. Just gave it back to him. Better placement. McDonald's a very multifaceted player. Playing slow, playing fast. He's like a baby McPhee Kumar.
It's a very weird comparison, but I'll let it slide.
I would love to hear your thoughts. Tear me apart, Matt. Just like you would if we were playing each other in table tennis. I'm ready. I'd be honored.
McDonald ties things up here. 2 games each. This match is so important for Texas Wesleyan.
Going to the 5th game here. Looking ratings-wise at these players, this really is what California needs here. They need these first 2 matches to be, they really need this match to be in their favor, because the Texas Wesleyan 3 and 4 seeds are decisively stronger. Not that those matches couldn't go either way, but certainly an uphill battle for California in those 2 spots.
Fade giving up the whole table to play that step around forehand. Directs the ball right into the middle of McDonald's backhand. And again, as we saw in game 1, Sheth's serve drifting a little half long to the forehand. McDonald not dropping too late with that. He's picked it up quite early.
It was strange how he lost the timing of it in that 2nd game, but he's gotten it back.
Timeout for Sheth. McDonald leads 4-1. Really strong start in the 5th for him. Again, it comes down to earlier timing for him, being a little more aggressive, not letting the ball drop too low.
Cool to have a junior champion from his country here. I'm not sure as far as international players how many of those we have here. But I'm curious, Matt, as far as the junior table tennis internationally goes, do these players ever see each other? Do players like McDonald play in international competitions where they might see a top junior from the U.S.?
I mean, McDonald's not a junior. I don't know how much he played internationally when he was in juniors, but the more active international players, yeah, they see each other all the time. You know, sometimes they're playing. Looks like it's going to be a good rally. Sometimes they're playing, you know, an event each weekend for 3 or 4 weeks in a row, so they're very familiar with each other. Vade's really going for broke, but McDonald has pushed himself back up into a really good control position here, shortening down his strokes for the counters.
Wow. All of a sudden, McDonald just looks untouchable. All of a sudden, none of Ved's weapons are working. Except for his chop block, apparently.
Very ambitious step around there from Sheth. 8-2 now.
Serve, too.
Well, I mean, good job from him. I mean, he was ahead of it, yeah. He knew it was going to be long. But again, we see Sheth playing the inside-out forehand into the stronger side of McDonald. He's solid on the backhand. McDonald's getting really vocal now.
McDonald signaling to his team he knows this is over. We'll see if he's right. The odds are heavily in his favor.
Gets the job done for Texas Wesleyan.
Love to see the emotion from Jonathan McDonald there.
Look at the score margins. I mean, last 2 games, 11-4, 11-2. He just really shut Vabe down in the match.
Strangely enough, after, in the 3rd game, losing 11-3.
So things are all tied up here now. 1 match each.
Which means California has a lot of work to do. 3rd singles coming up. Hansen Lee playing for California versus Santiago Montes Solarte. The men's doubles 2nd place players from last night will be starting soon.
Okay. Red, black. One to choose. Black. Okay. Receive. Receive. Side? Okay. Give me a second.
And here you have it, the third singles underway. In case you're wondering who's stepping in, it is me and Justin D'Antonio. We are here watching Hansen Lee of UC Berkeley versus Eduardo Montes Santiago, Texas Wesleyan. We are already experienced a lot of fireworks so far in these first two singles, as Berkeley and Wesleyan are knotted at 1-all here in this co-ed final.
Theme of this tournament has definitely been California versus Texas, and Texas primarily being Wesleyan. But this year is a different California, mostly UCLA in our finals prior to this. Expecting to see more big things tomorrow from UC Berkeley with Kumar now in the house. He'll be competing in the men's singles. He is our #1 seed.
I know that we had looked at some results earlier, and NYU had won roughly three of the last 5. So NYU not being here in this co-ed finals is a big deal. Obviously, Berkeley making it to the finals is huge. I know that they've got to be excited at the run they've had so far.
And this may be the last we see of, or rather today might have been the last we see of NYU on the big stage, the show course. Their top player, Jeremy Hazen, opted not to compete in the men's singles tomorrow. On the women's side, the strongest NYU seed tomorrow in the singles will be Tiffany Lamb at the 9 seed.
It's really a slow start for Hansen Lee of UC Berkeley, not really getting into any kind of rhythm right now. Misjudged the height and bounce on that ball. It just didn't kick up off the table.
And game point fairly confidently taken by Santiago to lead this match 1-0.
Santiago really didn't have to work a lot for the points there in that game. A lot of unforced errors coming off the paddle of Hansen Lee from UC Berkeley. It's a much needed win here for Hansen.
300-point rating deficit between these two players. Santiago having the upper hand on paper. We'll see if he can find any opportunities to capitalize on stylistic differences or maybe some holes. But he's going to have to do something significantly different from what we saw in game 1. And hopefully Kumar, coaching on the sidelines, helped him with some ideas.
0 game to 1. California to serve. 0-0.
Hansen pulling in the reverse pendulum serve there.
It's he's really struggling to find range so far on the backhand side. He had a number of them that either sailed long or he carried into the bottom of the net in game number 1. And I know he's, you know, again, having to establish some type of attack rhythm. It's going to be tough because you can't just give an experienced player like Montes Solartes, who is just very steady, very consistent, not going to beat himself.
And now that was a little strange. The point before that, Hansen opted to take 2 forehands, or rather center balls, as backhands. Which surprisingly, with how his backhand's been looking, I would have thought he would have taken as forehands. And then the point afterwards, he shifted out wide to take what I would have thought would be a natural backhand as a forehand. So
and again, it's going to be really critical for Hansen Lee to be able to keep this game close.
umpire opting to give a warning versus a point on a serve call. Santiago going big on that serve return, but not finding his mark.
Well, it was certainly long enough, certainly high enough within his wheelhouse to be able to step around. I think he just maybe didn't think he was going to get one that easy.
He's still within striking distance here. Although there's a feeling that he's not really in control just yet. First visual emotion we've seen from Hansen right there.
I hate to gave him a little off-speed chop block there, and those are the ones, Justin, that he can't afford to give away. Montes Solartes is not going to give him very many easy balls that are just sitting up high like that. And again, with the slow start that he's had so far, he really needs those easy ones back.
A really nice shot by Santiago, made even better by an edge contact off to that backhand side of Hansen. And that point just got slower and slower. Looked like neither player was ready to inject any more power into that backhand rally.
Yeah, then again, another errant exchange there on the backhand side from Hansen Lee. He just carries it a little too long, too much flick off the bounce.
Looks like he's letting it jam him a little bit. Wow.
Yeah, again, it just miscues on the returns. It's just really rough for Hansen right now. And then between, I want to say there was an edge ball earlier. There's been 2 net balls between the ones that he missed throughout this point. It was just a really misplayed game, and he's already dug himself a hole down 2-0 without really pressing Montes Solartes at all in this third singles here.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see not as much of a fight here as we were hoping for yet, but that doesn't mean it's not to come. He just needs to find a game plan, really.
He's going to have some land. He's going to have to get a few shots in a row to build up confidence, really, because right now he's not connecting on anything on the backhand side, and some of the forehands that he has been given, he's actually misplayed. So really it's just going to be a matter of him getting some confidence in, maybe even getting a few cheap points here and there to make him feel like he has a chance to stay in this third game.
Santiago starting the game 3 with the service.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you don't want to see people just miss or dump forehands in the bottom of the net, but that is what Hansen Lee needs to get himself into, is get a couple cheap points here and there and then kind of figure his way out.
Just a little flat-footed on the backhand side. Hansen continues to utilize the reverse pendulum serve, playing that out to Santiago's forehand to a mixed bag of success.
So really controlled forehand there. Didn't go for too much, but it definitely had enough hooking spin to get him out wide, and the ball just kept moving.
The outcome of this match really just feels like it's on Santiago's paddle.
Yeah, and even there, just an unfortunate bounce off of the net post. But he was in control at that point. And I know that's what he wants to kind of get. Again, if he can get a couple of those points set up together in a row, he definitely has a chance to stay in this match.
The Texas Wesleyan stand, you'll see a massive amount of players, coaches from both their co-ed and their women's teams supporting, and even some alumni from their program. Bruno Dos Venturas. Despite the gravity of this match for his team, still showing respect, apologizing for the net court. See Angela Guan in the crowd too, applauding this match. A NCTTA veteran and also current MLTT player.
So now it's 7-all, and Hansen's back in, well, 7-8. Hansen's in this match still. And that's a great forehand. He was able to really overcome that heavy soft top that Montes Solartes gave him. It's that kind of shot, Justin, that really is going to give him some confidence as he just unloads on that forehand.
His teammates are enthused.
Goes right back to it, sails out a little long, but it's you know, it was the right ball, Justin. He just missed it, but there was nothing wrong with that shot whatsoever.
You get the feeling Santiago is comfortable weathering the storm here.
Well, you should be, just because Hansen hasn't put together too many good shots in a row.
Santiago wins this next point, that would bring Texas Wesleyan up 2-1 in this head-to-head versus California.
Just really undecided on that forehand, and Montes secures a fairly easy point for Texas Wesleyan here at the number 3 singles. It's all going to fall up to Ashwin Sankaratri of Berkeley, and he's going to be up against Eduardo Tomo, who is, just so fast, so explosive on the forehand. We've seen Eduardo play a number of championships, and Ashwin's going to have his hands full.
Absolutely.
And as right now, it is definitely, favor Texas Wesleyan to win this championship. But we've seen some upsets and surprises so far, and we're going to be very curious as to what Ashwin has to bring to the table. But we know Eduardo Tomo of Texas Wesleyan, just an all-around explosive player.
Absolutely. Big fight coming up. Lots of energy expected for the close of this Coed Teams 2024 NCTTA Finals.
While we're waiting on this game break and timeout, we'd like to thank our wonderful sponsors, the great people at Yola. Visit Eau Claire, Pong Space, Bluestone Designs and Creations, the United States Coast Guard, NCTTA, and its wonderful staff and volunteers. We just really thank all of the partners that made this 2024 event possible. Again, it's been a great weekend so far. We have our annual Players Party Championship banquet, if you will, this evening that everyone looks forward to attending. It's a great time just to be able to celebrate players and team success throughout the year, as well as the contests that have been concluded already this weekend. And it just really gives a chance people to just kind of unwind, let their hair down, and enjoy themselves while they're here in Eau Claire. But as we get ready for the 4th singles, Ashwin of UC Berkeley versus Eduardo Tomo of Texas Wesleyan. I'm Joe Wells. Alongside me is Justin D'Antonio. We'll be back with you shortly.
You can hear the crowd getting amped before this 4th singles match here in the Collegiate Coed Doubles Final between California and Texas Wesleyan, the 1 and 2 seeds. making their way to this final juncture.
And here's where we are right now, Justin. Ashwin Sankaratri of UC Berkeley wins for his team, and they go to doubles. If Eduardo Tomo wins for Texas Wesleyan is your 2024 champion.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Go! Go!
Ashwin is really coming out swinging and taking some really big cuts on both the forehand and backhand side, but he's not able to connect with him. I think he's feeling a little bit of that pressure, knowing that he's going to have to put a lot on the ball if he wants to be able to beat Eduardo Tomoike.
Good that he's not coming out timid, though. Willing to go for those shots. Hopefully he'll find a way to calibrate those before he gets in too deep of a hole. And that was a good sign right there on that big forehand. Tomoike, one of the few penhold traditional players competing in this tournament.
And that's just a great rip there out the backhand side.
Little change up there. We've seen a lot of really quick points with big kills, and then we had a little cat and mouse, short touch plays with backspin. Ashwin really made it in and played a nice shot with a backhand punch off that short ball. Thought he had the point in the palm of his hands.
Yeah, it just shows you really how fast Tomoike is, because Ashwin did play a beautiful backhand after the punch that he recovered from. Again, one bounce long. Tomoike is looking to pounce on that shot.
Kind of a wild error there from Ashwin, and that was probably mostly caused by really broken ankles there, having to lunge in on that short ball off balance.
Really impressed with Ashwin to be able to keep this game close. Even though he's missed some loud ones early, he missed a couple midway there, and Tomoike's played a very consistent game. Ashwin is definitely hanging in this first game, knowing that he can't get down early.
About 200 rating points separate these two players, with the deficit in the favor of Eduardo.
Those are the ones he definitely wants to be able to connect with. Just a really textbook forehand loop there in the middle. Too heavy for Tomoike to be able to keep it down.
Awesome defense, converted into offense by Tomoike. His movement just makes it so tough to get him playing a weak ball, even when you place it perfectly.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Ashwin really lets one get away there, as he was not able to get himself back in position to get that weak return into offense again.
Wow. Saucy forehand by Tomoike, but somehow Ashwin still got a hand on it and forced an error. Looked like Eduardo was just not ready for that ball to come back. See him smiling after the play.
Back-to-back ripping forehands there. Just took no chances whatsoever and made Tomoike pay for that half-long serve. Game point, Ashwin Sankaratri.
Not what he wanted there. Tomoike pumping himself up alongside his whole team.
And that's just being way too over-aggressive on that. I mean, that was a tough angle to be able to want to drive that ball open court.
Couple touchy errors there.
But I could see how someone in this point of the match could get really anxious.
Of course, but not you, Joe. Never you.
Well, it's too slow to get anxious. But, you know, back to the match. It's 12-all here. Tomoike gives Ashwin a point to get him back at the deuce because he knows he wants one of those 2 points ago. He wants one of those back. And it really is a lot of back and forth here on who's going to be the aggressor early. They're both trying to open up the points with these big forehands. I mean, they're just really, really trying to spin it heavy. And sometimes they're just not getting enough of the ball, and it's unfortunate.
Eduardo taking game one in deuce, 14-12, after quite the battle. Hopefully that is a reflection of the coming games for this match, and whether we make it to the doubles final tiebreaker or not, it's exciting to see this fourth singles potentially deciding the championship being so heavily contested.
I feel like if we look back on this one, Justin, you know, Ashwin played a very good, tight first game, gave away some, take nothing away from Tomoike. He played a really good game. He was reacting well to a lot of the offense that Ashwin was pushing out there early. But this was definitely game one that Ashwin will want back. If we look through this match and we get to it where if Tomoike does end up pulling this off and maybe we end up going to 5, we always have to revert back to game number 1. That I definitely think that it could have gone the other way.
I will say, watching these players move so quickly, it does surprise me that a player like Ashwin wouldn't wear a headband. His hair is so long. When he makes some of these lunging plays, it shifts and covers his eyes. That would certainly distract me.
I think for a lot of people, you know, it's just one of those things they just get used to. They know it's there. It's not something that disturbs them at all.
And
what a rip.
That is the first around the net shot I've seen this tournament, and executed absolutely perfectly. Tomoike did not even move.
And that is a beautiful redirect on the backhand, or a drive out wide to Tomoike forehand.
Maybe my favorite shot this tournament has been a variety of well-executed inside-out backhands from a few players, really changing things up.
And a miscue there from Ashwin on the return. Just a super impressive backhand block down the line. No chance.
What an acute angle, going off the side of the table and not the back, right down the line. Hate to see that, especially being down a game.
Sankaratri might want to take a timeout.
And I am surprised that his team as well has not suggested that he take a timeout.
Just a really good point from Eduardo Tomo from start to finish.
What a ridiculous run by Eduardo.
And that just shows you back to before this match started. We talked about Eduardo Tomoke's speed. Ashwin thought he was going to catch him just down the line with a really good topspin serve, but Tomoke is just so fast.
Holy guacamole. About a minute and 30 seconds ago, this was looking to be a tight game 2. And all of a sudden, it's over, heavily in the favor of Eduardo. Quite impressive.
Sankaratri really gifted Eduardo Tomoike that game number 2. He just played a number of shots really loose. I definitely agree with his strategy where he's going big, especially on the counters. But some of those shots are just bad angles. He wasn't in the best position to be offensive, and it's just hard to really see a second game like that after he played such a beautiful first game.
Eduardo, though, his error count that game just dropped to 0 in the blink of an eye, really. And I'm not sure if Ashwin made more errors than in the first game. It just seemed like he got caught off guard a few times, expecting his big shots to put Eduardo to bed. And then in a couple other places, it was just he was going for those same shots that he did in the first game, not making them, but Eduardo did not return the favor.
Here we are, game 3. Eduardo Tomoike of Texas Wesleyan leads 2-0 again. Tomoike wins this singles. That would mean the championship goes to Texas Wesleyan. If Ashwin Sankaratri of UC Berkeley is able to pull this out, they will go to the 5th and deciding doubles match.
And for Texas Wesleyan, this is just another title for a very dominating tournament this weekend. they're going to go home with a lot of trophies in their arms. Hope they have room in their bags. That's a killer shot, though, by Ashwin. He's still here.
And you did not see how fast Tomoike was able to adjust hand position from setting up a forehand to backhand punch drive so quickly.
Eduardo, primarily the traditional style. You don't see him play many, if any, reverse, or rather the modern reverse pendulum backhand. Both wings off of that forehand rubber, pretty much exclusively this match. I did umpire one of his games a while back. I'm trying to recall, he may not even have a backhand rubber on there.
Yeah, Tomoike not electing to use a reverse pin hold backhand. He's going to be a traditional J pin, whereas typically it's going to be a lot of blocking and punching, depending on where he adjusts the angle at.
One advantage that gives him is without that backhand rubber on the paddle, trying to see if I can tell if he has one. But without that rubber on there, the paddle itself is going to be much lighter, which is going to help with all these reactionary plays that he's really known for.
And those are the ones that really just takes the air out of your sails, Justin.
I can't even tell if Ashwin's sail is attached to his boat at this point. Very solemn right now, as is his team, which is unusual. You would think they would be searching for any opportunity to hype him up, get him back in this match, but I guess he needs to give them something to work with here.
Just an errant forehand there out wide, but he definitely has a few points to play with as he's still well in control of this match.
Tomoike's serve, a very technically sound serve, doesn't play with any room for service faults being called. Some of the players sort of flirt with the line on the height of the toss out of their hand or the angle at which they throw it up. Perfectly vertical, at least 2 feet high every time. And you see him really ensure that that left arm of his makes no hindrance on the visibility of the ball to his opponent.
Again, just going so big on the forehand side, not able to corral that one in. Tomoike with a comfortable 8-4 lead here in the game 3.
Good golly. Out of nowhere, he's making these phenomenal shots. If only he could land a few more of them, this would be This would be within the realm of possibility, but there's just way too many peppered errors in between those moments of genius.
Yeah, he just wasn't able to put enough of them together. Obviously a very talented player with some firepower of his own, but unfortunately these last few points he's been able to play some loose ones again, trying to overhit. Texas Wesleyan takes the championships. As you can see, they are elated on the courts. Texas Wesleyan, your 2024 National Collegiate Coed Champions. For Justin D'Antonio, I'm Joe Wells signing off for day 2 of this championship. Please join us tomorrow, the conclusion of the 2024 event, where we will get into singles, men's and women's. Thanks, have a great night.
Congratulations to Texas Wesleyan 2024 Coed Team Champions. Thanks to all our volunteers and our officials. We have a banquet tonight, right? And we have a bus show scheduled. Make sure you check it out. See you all tonight. Have some chow, have some fun. Congrats to California, UC Berkeley, second place, good job.
And good afternoon, I'm Joe Wells. I'm standing here alongside the 2024 Coed National Champions, Texas Wesleyan University. We're going to start off with some of the newcomers on the team. This is their first year at the National Championships. Tell us a little bit about your experience of this run to this tournament so far.
Well, it's been a good run so far. I'm enjoying it with the team, you know. This is my second year competing at the Nationals, and I really enjoy playing with the guys.
Jonathan, you had a really good tournament. Obviously, your first year here at the university. There was a lot of pressure on you to get that second singles point. What was going through your mind going into that match?
I think I was nervous, of course, but I felt pretty good support from everybody in the team, and I think that pushed me forward.
Eduardo, you've been on the team for a very, very long time. In a few words, can you just explain to the people back home that are watching what's going through your body and your mind right now?
Well, it's unbelievable. Of course, we really wanted this at the very beginning, and we finally made it, right? We finally came here with all the team, and we're like a family, so this is the most important thing for us. So it's winning with your friends and your teammates, with your team as well. So.
And if we could, I know that they have a special supporting cast this year. They were able to lean on their heavy experience of alumni players, bring back a former player to help them on the bench. Bruno? Bruno has been he's been a champion as a player, and now he is a champion as an assistant coach. Bruno, how do you feel?
I feel amazing coming here again, bringing me such good memories. It was my first title in college national, was here in Wisconsin. So, and now I'm back, and I won the title as a coach, and for Texas Wesleyan, where I played with so much pleasure and honor. So for me, it's great to be here with this new generation of Texas Wesleyan players.
Not many people can say they have a national championship as a player and a coach. Again, I'm standing with the 2024 National Collegiate Champions, Texas Wesleyan University.